Coming up on High School Quiz Show, it's the final qualifying match.
Sagrada Familia, Will Smith, Rorschach, 3.
Congratulations, what an amazing game. That's next on High School Quiz Show.
Hey guys, what's going on? It's your boy, back at it again with another Minecraft video, and today I'm gonna tell you guys about the time that I was on TV. But that's coming up next on High School Quiz Show. So I already went over this briefly in my Stats and Extracurriculars video, but I was recently on a TV show called High School Quiz Show. And I figured it would be nice to make a dedicated video on this topic because the day that this video goes out is the same day that the season 11 finale premieres, which was the season that I competed on. And just in general, I had a really great time with High School Quiz Show, and I wanted to share my experiences with you guys. So I want to walk you guys through the process of finding out about the show, applying to be on it, and then finally actually competing on the show and getting on TV. So as the name implies, High School Quiz Show is a quiz show for high schoolers. Quiz show, high school quiz show for high schoolers. High School Quiz Show. High School Quiz Show is based in Massachusetts, but there are a lot of similar shows across the country, like the Governor's Bowl in Arkansas and Battle of the Brains, which is in Virginia. Essentially, High School Quiz Show is just a televised version of Quiz Bowl, and if you're not familiar with what Quiz Bowl is, it's essentially a competition where a bunch of nerds gather in teams and answer trivia questions. So I found out about High School Quiz Show last year when I was scrolling through YouTube trying to prepare for an upcoming History Bowl competition, which is an entirely different thing, but it's all just a bunch of nerd stuff. And I came across an episode of High School Quiz Show which was posted onto their YouTube channel, and as one does, I started binge watching all of them. And after binge watching all 7 seasons that were available on YouTube, I was like, where has this been all my life? I need to get on this. But by the time that I found out about the show, season 10 was already underway, which meant that I would have to wait until next year to apply to be on the show. So in the meantime, I gathered up a bunch of my friends from Quiz Bowl and we just started preparing for the qualifying competition. And then so the following November, we went down to the WGBH station down in Boston because that's the station that produces the show. And we were there for the qualifying competition, which is called Super Sunday, because it's on Sunday and it's pretty super. And we walked into the building and it was an absolute nerd fest. There were, I think, 100 teams participating in Super Sunday, so that means there were probably around 500 or 600 people there, and you had all these 100 teams competing for one of the spots on the show. So the actual show runs like a bracket style tournament, so these 100 teams were competing for one of 16 spots. There were actually 17 teams this year because of a rule change, but that's irrelevant to this story. So the qualifying competition essentially just had us take a group test with a bunch of trivia questions on it, and the teams that had the top scores would be the ones to move on to the actual TV competition. And after we took the test, we had to wait a couple weeks for the final results, but when the results did come out, we were not one of the top teams.
What happened?
But fortunately for us, there was another rule change for this year's competition. And that new change basically said that one of the spots for the show competition would be up for grabs outside of the original qualifying competition. So outside of the teams who already qualified for the show, the next 8 teams would enter a separate competition to try to compete for that last spot. And luckily we were one of those 8 teams, which meant that we would be entering High School Quiz Show Extra Credit. So the next week we went down to the extra credit competition, which was actually hosted by Jeff Kinney, who you guys may know as the author of the Diary of a Wimpy Kid series or the creator of Pop Tropica. And I won't go too much into the specifics of what happened in the extra credit competition because that's another story for another day, which involves some beef with Jeff Kinney. But the point is, our team won the extra credit competition, which meant that we would be moving on to the actual TV competition. So as I mentioned earlier, High School Quiz Show is a bracket style tournament, which means that each episode is a matchup between 2 schools. So we were put up against some of the best schools in Massachusetts, all competing for that first place prize. And as luck would have it, the team that we were put up against in the first round has been on the show for 7 or 8 seasons already, and and they're also a nationally ranked quiz bowl team. So going into the competition, we already weren't really too confident in ourselves. But honestly, that doesn't really matter because we were just there to have a good time. So fast forward a couple months, it's January now, and we head down to the station to film our episode, which would be put on air later in April. I wish I could have recorded something while I was there, but we weren't able to do that because of confidentiality reasons. But it was basically just like you'd imagine it would be. We went into a room to get our makeup done. We had to get set up with microphones, and there were all these cameras and people just moving around all the time. And it reminded me a lot of a set for a TV show, because I was on a set for a TV show. So after we had gotten ready and everything, we moved on to set where we got to meet the man, the myth, the legend, Billy Costa himself. And in that moment, I was completely starstruck. I had seen him on TV so many times, but now I got to meet him in person. And to think that now he knows my name just warms my heart. And then after everything got set up, it was time to film the show. So now I'll walk you guys through everything that happened in the episode. So if you'd like to watch it for yourself first, please feel free to do so. I'll leave a link in the description for the actual episode. Don't worry, I'll be here waiting for you. Since this was a TV show, we had to, play everything up for the sake of TV. So one of the people on set told us that we had to bring a lot of energy to the show. And as you may or may not know, I'm generally a pretty low energy person. So I was pretty out of my element to be running on stage and cheering and bringing all the hype, as the kids say. But I would say that I think I got the job done. Each episode of High School Quiz Show is divided into 4 rounds. The first round being a toss-up round. So that means that Billy Costa reads a question, and when he's finished reading the question, either team can buzz in and try to answer. And honestly, going into it, we weren't really too confident in ourselves, but we ended up doing a lot better than we thought in the first round.
Red, green, blue.
Yes.
Wife.
Wife is correct.
Sagrada Familia.
Yes.
O negative.
Yes.
Lord of the Flies.
Yes.
Thomas.
Angie Thomas is correct.
So as you guys saw, I had some pretty nice answers in the first round, and we were either tied or in the lead, I think. So we were feeling pretty confident in ourselves. Matt Pat was also on the show as a guest question reader, which was pretty cool.
Hi, I'm Matthew Patrick, creator and narrator of the YouTube web series Game Theory.
But nobody answered his question. In between the first and second round, Billy Costa usually asks the teams a question so that the audience can get to know them better. And so the question for us was something along the lines of, which song would you use as your entrance music? And everybody gave some pretty good answers. But do you know what I said? Do you want to know what song I chose? Just guess. I want you guys to guess which song I chose.
I'm gonna have to go with Kill This Love by Blackpink. It's a really great song to get hyped to.
I chose Kill This Love by Blackpink as my entrance music. Kill This Love by Blackpink. You see, my first pick was All Star by Smash Mouth, but the person on the other team already said that.
My entrance music would be All Star by Smash Mouth.
So I had to come up with a different song so I wouldn't look like I was copying him. And I chose Kill This Love by Blackpink. I could have picked any other song. Kill This Love by Blackpink. Don't get me wrong, it's like a pretty good song, but out of all the songs I could pick, that is what I picked. Wow. When I watched the episode for the first time and heard myself saying that, not gonna lie, I kinda cringed. But it's in the past now, so it's whatever. Then the second round was the head-to-head round, which means that one person from each team goes up against each other and they try to answer the questions faster. So in this round, I got a couple questions, I lost a couple questions.
Yes.
Will Smith.
Yes. Yes.
Harriet Tubman.
Yes.
But at the end of the round, we were in the lead. So going into the third round, I thought that we had a really good chance of winning. I was so naive at the time. So young, so foolish. So the third round is the category round. There are 6 categories and each of them have questions of increasing point value. It's basically like Jeopardy, I think. I don't watch Jeopardy. I should watch Jeopardy. Is Jeopardy still on? Who knows? And the categories in that round were... Oh man, the category round was not good for us at all. The categories were all on things that I basically knew nothing about. One of the categories was about rooms, and another one was about poetry. Do I look like someone who knows about poetry? No. Yeah. Yeah. So the third round is basically where everything went downhill. At one point, we were down over 100 points.
Orwell's 1984.
And by that point, I had lost all hope. During the majority of the third round, I felt like I was going to throw up because things were not going as planned. But fortunately, we were able to answer some good questions towards the end of the round.
Rorschach,
Yes, and you've got the board.
Wolf of Wall Street.
That is correct.
So while they were still in the lead at the end of the round, we had closed the gap considerably. Before the start of the fourth round, which was also the final round, I had such an adrenaline rush. You know, some people get it before the big game or before a concert recital, but I had adrenaline running through my veins because of a trivia game show. So the fourth round is the lightning round. It's pretty similar to the first round where the questions are toss-ups, but in this round, points are worth more and you can buzz in at any time. And the fourth round is only 90 seconds. We were only down by 15 points. So honestly, it was anyone's game at that point, and we had 90 seconds to take that dub.
Copenhagen,
Yes.
Doolittle.
Yes.
Cyclops.
Yes.
Michigan,
Yes.
Swarms,
Yes.
Farnsworth?
Philo Farnsworth. Yes.
Declaration of Independence.
Yes.
Klein.
Ernest Klein.
Indonesia.
Yes.
Scorsese.
Yes.
France.
Yes. Order.
Austria.
Yes.
SN.
Yes. Oh. That ends the match.
Yeah, so we lost. And we were only one question apart, so it's kind of a bummer. If I had gotten that Declaration of Independence question... Honestly, kind of bummed by the outcome, but we weren't expecting to win in the first place. So the fact that we were able to do that well against them is a victory in its own right. Sadly, our team did not move on to the next round, but the team that beat us in that first round is now in the finals, so basically we were the third best team in the whole competition. And that is the story of my rise to TV stardom. I'm basically famous now. All I need is a Wikipedia article and an IMDb page and I'm set. It's kind of a shame that I found out about the show so late because it would definitely have been a lot of fun to do high school quiz show throughout high school. High school quiz show. Quiz show for high schoolers. High school quiz show. Imagine they bring me on the show as a guest question reader in the future. If anyone that works on High School Quiz Show is watching this video, feel free to contact me. And that was that. I hope you guys enjoyed my little story, and if you did, please be sure to leave a like and comment down below, and don't forget to subscribe for some more great content, because it's free to you guys, and it really helps me grow as a channel. That's all for today, folks, so I'll see you next time. Bye!